familiar with her or not familiar with her, but influencer B Simone is now receiving some backlash over a church outfit. After, and I know we talked about outfits yesterday, but here we are again. Folks criticizing folks all the time, judgmental folks. But she's getting some backlash over a church outfit after wearing, they say, booty shorts and a blazer to the pulpit. But didn't Jesus say, come as you are? I'm just saying, didn't the good Lord say, come as you are? I'm just saying, that what he said, come as you are. So, we'll get into it. I definitely want to know your thoughts, your feelings, your thoughts and prayers on this one right here. But let me do this break real quick, and then and turn that down, cause hold on. Every week, IG, you play with this live every week. I don't understand it. What is the problem? All right, hold on, y'all. Top of the hour, I got your chance to get hooked up with a pair of tickets to the Southern Soul Blues celebration. That is all coming up for you right here on 98.7 KISS, the best R&B. Okay, IG, what is the problem today? All right, IG, we're going to have to try this again because you aggravate. Oh, didn't I say every week? It is something with this IG every damn week. Jesus mercy. It is not one dull moment with Instagram. Live. That's why I don't want to do live no more on Instagram because this shit sucks. I said what I said. So we'll try this again because sometimes I have to log out and then go back all the way in. My wig is itching too today. And then log back in so I can I don't know who that is on, but hey, welcome to the party. I was trying to get started on IG Live, but Instagram is cutting up again as usual. Nothing new there. So we could start this conversation about influencer B Simone. And I apologize because I feel like we've been talking about, clothing. Hey, babe. I feel like we've been talking about clothing the last couple of days, but it is what it is. So we'll get into it. Again, I'm trying to get back onto IG Live because it was just cutting up. At least once a week, I deal with this with Instagram, and that's why I'm taking my talent somewhere else, because this ain't it, IG. I don't know what IGB have going on, but this is not it. This is not the business. So we'll try this again with IG and see if this works, because I know I had Chev and 2 other people on here. So let's do this again. There we go. We are live. All right, again, I hate to be talking about clothes for the second day in a row because I feel like we just covered this yesterday. But influencer B Simone is getting some backlash over an apparent church outfit that she wore. I guess booty shorts and a blazer. I have not seen the outfit for myself, so I don't know what she had on. But take a listen to what these folks had to say about it.
A blazer.
What up, DJ? Do it.
Like I don't have anything underneath.
I probably wouldn't wear something like that. And then when you have these platforms, I also think that is a chance to spread the gospel a little more. And I wouldn't want to do anything that can potentially compromise.
You're my first contestant because I had to log off and log back in.
It's all the way down to attire, the way you present yourself. And I think even with this younger culture, a lot of times we look for people who look like us, but there's a way to do it. Modesty.
So they're posing the question: is B Simone wrong for praying in booty shorts? Didn't the Lord say, come as you are? Judgmental. I'm starting to believe it's you, some of you black folks, boy. Y'all be having y'all panties in a wad. Some of y'all do. Like, seriously, have y'all panties? Because, like, if the Lord said, come as you is, what is the problem? So, DJ, do it. Am I wrong? Yeah, I'm starting to believe that some of you black people is the problem. Y'all complain about every goddamn thing. I think it's a problem. But DJ Dewitt said praying in booty shorts. Yes, now she's being condemned for praying in booty shorts. But yes. So B Simone, if you're familiar with her, she is a influencer and a comedian, is getting some backlash over a church outfit. According to reports, they said she wore booty shorts and a blazer to the pulpit. But again, didn't the good Lord say, come as you are? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Some of these Christian folks, Jesus didn't hang around you do right Christian folk. He hung out with criminals. So I ain't judging nobody because, again, the good Lord said, come as you are. If that girl want to come wearing booty shorts and a blazer, who am I to say anything? You know what I'm saying? Who am I? You know what I'm saying? That's what she felt like wearing to the house of the Lord. And not her business. So what are your thoughts on this? If you have any thoughts on this, again, I have not seen the outfit, so I don't know if she actually did wear booty shorts to the pulpit. But again, didn't Jesus say, come as you are? So I'm trying to figure out what the prime is. If the good Lord said, come as you are, what is the rest of y'all prime? Again, I'm starting to believe that some of you black people are the prime. Y'all too judgmental when it comes to certain things. I don't hear other races of folks discussing these type of things. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I guess I'm not other races. I'm black at the end of the day. Like 1985 said yesterday, he said, my algorithm don't pop up with other races of folks. It only pops up with folks, it only pops up with us. So I get it. DJ Dewitt said, oh, what if she came in a two-piece in Clear Hills? Would it be a Jesus said, come as you are. If she came to the Lord like that, who am I to judge her? Who am I to judge her? I'd be like, girl, now you know. But Jesus said, come as you are, Chad. I'm not defending her actions because I don't want nobody on here to say, oh, you're defending her. And I'm not defending anything. But the good book says, come as you are. And then when folks come to the house of the Lord as they is, then you want to judge them. And then you wonder why folks don't want to be a part of the church. Because some of y'all are too judgmental. You know what I'm saying? Everything does not have to be an issue. I just feel like everything is just made into an issue. If that child woke up that morning and felt like she wanted to wear booty shorts to church and a blazer, again, Jesus said, come as you are. Who am I to judge? And DJ do, hey mama, would you say he who was without sin, let him cast the first stone? Oh, okay then. Hey Cartel Atlanta. All right, so mama, Cartel Atlanta, if you're staying on, we are talking about influencer B Simone is now receiving some backlash, and I know we got into outfits yesterday over a church outfit she wore. They're saying she wore booty shorts and a blazer to the pulpit. I mean, I haven't seen it, so I can neither confirm nor deny. But didn't Jesus say, "Come as you are"? I'm just saying. And take a listen to the clip.
Presentation of the church. I wouldn't have worn a blazer where it looks like I don't have anything underneath.
I probably wouldn't wear something like that. And then when you have these platforms, I also think that is a chance to spread the gospel a little more. And I wouldn't want to do anything that can potentially compromise my witness. And that is all the way down to attire, the way you present yourself. And I think even with this younger culture, a lot of times we look for people who look like us, but there's a way to do it. Modesty.
I want to say
all right, so for the new folks on here, if you're familiar with B Simone, she's an influencer, a comedian. They're talking about the outfit she wore to church. She's getting backlash because they said she wore booty shorts and a blazer to the pulpit. And again, didn't Jesus say, come as you are? I'm starting to think some of you black folks are the problem. You're too prudish. Get your panties out of a wad. DJ Dewitt said, okay, imagine you walking into Rock City with Pastor Mike Jr. preaching, and she walks down the aisle in a two-piece with Clear Hills. What you gonna do then? Mind my damn business, because that ain't got nothing to do with me. Again, what up, baby Barack? Jesus said, come as you are. Jesus didn't hang with you uppity Christians. He hung with sinners. One of the people, Ruth, whatever her name was, wasn't she a prostitute? And you think Jesus was over there judging her? No, Jesus was trying to make her come to the Lord. Yes, DJ do. I'm going to mind my business because that's between her and the Lord. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Mama said, come on with some respect. What did Jesus say, mama? Oh, Jesus said, come as you are. He didn't say how to come. He didn't say you must have a two-piece button down. He didn't say none of that. He said, come as you are. She came as she was. And people are still mad. I'm still trying to figure this out. Again, we talked about outfits yesterday, but again, I'm sorry. I'm not co-signing that she wore that never would co-sign it. But what I am saying is Jesus said, come as you are. That's my only argument. DJ Dewey said, I'm going to make sure I sit next to you in church. You a bad. What you mean I bad? I might laugh, DJ Dewey. I might say something underneath my breath, but baby, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That's between her and the law. You know what I'm saying? And if the Bible says, come as you are, who are we to judge anybody? I'm not judging. Mama said she was covered in Jesus' presence. I know she got something else she could wear. What up, T-Way? She could have maybe wore something else, but she chose to wear that. What happened? I'm still waiting for y'all to cover the part where Jesus said, come as you are. What happened to that part? Jesus said, come as you are. I'm waiting for that part. You know, the only people I see being judgmental is some of you uppity Christians. No disrespect, but I'm just saying. Some of you uppity Christians. What up, Chef, again? Some of you uppity Christians, they got your panties in the water and always want to judge folks. You know, again, my argument is and will be Jesus said, come as you are. But that's why we are having this discussion. I know we're talking about outfits again today. Because we talked about it for a long time yesterday. But Influnencer, if I have any new folks, Influnencer B. Simone is getting backlash over a church outfit after what they're saying she wore booty shorts and a blazer to the pulpit. What up, Tizzle? Now, I can neither confirm nor deny what B. Simone had on, but didn't Jesus say, come as you are? Question mark. Tizzle, we're talking about B. Simone. I know you're familiar with her, the influencer. She's getting some backlash over a church outfit. The folks are saying she wore booty shorts and a blazer to the pulpit. And my only thing is, like I've been saying, did Jesus say, come as you are? Mama said it's literally saying people take it out. It's a literal saying people take it out of context. Or maybe we not bringing it into context enough, because if Jesus is telling you to come as you are, what is everybody else's problem? That's how she felt like coming to church. You know? DJs do is say, all right, let's just go on ahead and say it. What about butt naked with some heels and pastor preaching? What then? Again, DJ do it. I'm gonna mind my business, because they ain't got nothing to do with me. That's between her, what up, Chris, and the law. Ain't got nothing to do with me. And again, I'm gonna say, Jesus said, come as you are. Jesus did not hang with you do-right Bible-thumping Christians. He did not. He hung with sinners. That's why I get so confused when y'all folks think y'all can cast y'all judgments on other folks. Because what does the saying say? He who is without sin, let him cast the first stone. And ain't none of y'all on here without sin. So I don't give a damn how she showed up to church. At least she showed up to church. At least you showed up to church. And then you wonder why you can't get the youth in these churches, because y'all got too many rules and regulations. You know, and I understand, you know, it's the Bible. I understand you're supposed to follow the word. Y'all got too many rules and regulations. Y'all want to preach that damnation. And these youngins ain't hearing none of that. Baby Rock said, I'm going to mind my business and peep out the same day. Okay? Thank you, Baby Rock. I'm going to mind my damn business. But then I'm going to get on the phone with Mama and be like, Mama, let me tell you what this girl wants to church today. But that's her choice. At least she went to church. What else do y'all want from folks? I feel like it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. What up, Rashad? This might be right up your alley today, too. Because you a Bible thumper. I have to say it. No, I'm just joking. Rashad ain't that much of a Bible thumper. He be on here cussing. I'm trying to get you in here, Rashad. There you are.
Hey.
I can't see you, sir.
I can't see me either.
It's spinning. Hold on.
Kick me out.
Okay.
Try again.
Hold on. I didn't see your comment, Tizzle. They might not have posted it. This IG be acting crazy, so you might have to repost it again, Tizzle, because I did not see it. Chef, why you damning them to hell, Chef? Jesus. Boy, you Christian folk. I'm scared of y'all. Let me mind my good healing business then, cause I'm woo baby. Y'all black folks don't count. Yeah, I didn't see it, Tizzle, so please rewrite it and then let me go ahead and do this break. Chef says she is going to hell. Child of God. Hold on 1 second, please. The Southern Soul Blue Celebration, and I got your chance to go right now by texting the word soul. That's SOUL to 205-741-0987. It's 98.7 Kiss. Rashad, I just tried to invite you back. Okay, there you go. Wait, I gotta read these comments. Baby Rock laughed. D at you. Hold on. Chef said they're going to hell. I'm still trying to get over the go to hell part. Baby Rock said, I ain't mad. She brought life to the boring speech the pastor was. I'm sorry. That was funny. She made it more spicy. I don't know. Let me try it one more time, Rashad. There we go. I can see you now, Rashad. Kinda, you're frozen again. Rashad, what you got going on today, sir? Hold on, Rashad. I gotta kick you back out because I have no idea what is going on with your stuff today. All right, Rashad, we'll try this one more again. Well, let me read these comments first. Tex said, tell the hypocrites that hell awaits them and Satan just refresh the... Some of you Bible thump... Let you. You can be whatever you want to. But... what the saying? How the saying go? He who is without sin, let him cast the first stone. Rashad.
There we go.
There you go. All right. So are you familiar with influencer B Simone?
Who? B Simone?
Yes. So she is getting some backlash, and we talked about outfits yesterday, and we're talking about it again today. But she's getting some backlash over a church outfit.
Okay.
You ready for it?
Let's check it out.
Well, I don't have the outfit, but they're saying that she wore booty shorts and a blazer to the pulpit. Go ahead.
This is what you also have to understand. The other issue that we have to face in 2025 now is she did that on purpose.
You think so?
Yeah, I know so. It would be different if she wasn't aware. It would be different if that's all that she had. It would be different if she was just far gone like that, right? But she is, because I saw her. She's out of Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
She's a cousin to my mother-in-law's husband, or he's her uncle.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, she knows better. And so it's disappointing because you do stuff like that, and then people, they jump into this. You should be able to express yourself, any way you want and all this other stuff. But no, because that leaves the door open for complete chaos. People have to understand, without limitations and boundaries, everyone is going to push the envelope too far.
You said chaos. What kind of chaos could it lead to with her wearing booty shorts and a blazer to church? Go ahead.
Okay, so if you understand, it's already distracting enough, right, for young men, and I'm going to be honest with you. This is a conversation that is never had, so I'm going to enlighten you about this.
Okay.
You may be aware, but as a married man in a church, sometimes it's hard to go to church.
I did not. You are enlightening me today.
Because we intentionally have to look away. And there's a joke between married men that are at church. If we catch another dude that is looking at another chick, we immediately look up in the sky and keep walking. And it's because there is so much temptation in that area, and you never know if you linger too long or if you accidentally, just look at somebody, you never know how it's going to be taken. You never know how you're going to be judged or any of this stuff. And so if you open the door and say, well, it's okay, come as you are, wear your booty shorts. There are issues that come with that. God says come as you are, understood. But just because if you start off going to church in booty shorts, you should not continue going to church in booty shorts, because going to church, you have an understanding of what is appropriate and what's not. God said, come as you are. He didn't say leave the same way. And that's the part that people forget about. There's an expectation that, yeah, you're supposed to grow if you're coming to church. If you're actually listening to what the pastor's saying, if he's feeding you, you should have an understanding that there is growth. You are not the same person that you were when you first got to the church.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Because you my point. Because didn't the good Lord say, come as you are?
Right, no, he did. But he didn't say leave the same way. That's the point that people continue to forget about.
But my thing about it is, Jesus didn't hang out with you Bible thumping Christians.
Well, I mean, that's understood. But you also understand that when Jesus got with the harlots, they didn't leave the same way. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, now that she knows this, give her a chance to correct her errors.
No, she knew. She knew. And that's the point. I know people that know her. She knows.
Jesus.
She's doing that for attention. She's doing that for attention. And we can't accept that. Because now there are going to be little girls out there that are going to see this and are going to think that's okay. There are consequences that come with these types of behaviors. And we never talk about that.
Or there's going to be little girls that said, guess what? B. Simone went to church. I'm going to take myself to church because I don't ever go to church. So let me get myself. No, let me finish. Let me get myself up and get ready and go to church. So this could be a good thing. I don't care about the booty shorts. I don't.
So you have to understand, her being in church is a good thing.
Yes.
Her being church in shorts is overshadowing her being in church.
Okay, because yes, we are talking about the shorts.
Yes.
But it's overshadowing for us, not for her. Her relationship with the Lord is all she need to worry about. Not us. Her relationship with the Lord. So, again, who are we to judge? Jesus said, come as you are. And then I got to say this, Rashad. Y'all wonder why the young folks are not flocking to the church.
Nah, that's a cop-out.
Okay.
Nope, I don't accept that.
Okay.
That right there is a cop-out.
Okay.
If you accept everything that happens, then that means that you're not holding anybody accountable. The problem with the black culture is that we don't like holding anybody accountable for anything. We can't accept everything. I am as lenient of a person as there could possibly be because I understand a lot of different perspectives. But I also understand that when you become complacent and you become an enabler, there are repercussions that come from that. So I am of the mindset, I would rather stand out and say, okay, enough is a little bit too much, so that we can prevent another generation of kids from being confused, than I am to say, well, you can just do whatever it is that you want. Because kids don't understand that message. There's more that needs to come with that message.
I got you.
Because they take that message and they use it as an excuse to just get out and make bad decisions.
But is that a bad decision if they go to church?
Yeah.
Is that a bad decision, them going to church? They just came as they were. Again, I got to say it. The Lord said, come as you are. You know, Jesus didn't hang with, again, you Bible thumping, not you, but Bible thumping Christian. He hung with the sinners because he was trying to get these sinners to the word.
But we got to talk about the whole message.
I got it. DJ Dewey said facts. Mama said she agreed with you. DJ Dewey, he said a word on that one, Rashad. What up, Swisher? DJ Dewey said she did it to do it for attention and purpose because she's grown enough to know right from wrong. But who? I got Pastor Jamar D. Green on here too, from a church here in the Ham. And Pastor, you can come on here too if you would like. because we talking about you Bible thumping questions. I love y'all. Swisher said, it be some freaky women in the church. Some of the biggest freaks you know. Mama said, you would never wear no booty shorts to church in my presence. Oh, hell to the no. But let me ask you this, Rashad, and then I'm gonna get back to these comments. Let me ask you this. What if booty shorts is the only thing that she has to wear? She has nothing else in her wardrobe, and that's how she has to come to the church.
Sure.
Hey, Jamar.
So, we always throw these insane what-if scenarios in here. B. Simone is doing comedy shows.
Take her out the equation.
Oh, we're not talking about
No.
That's
Take her out the take her out the
said,
equation.
Once again, earlier I said, if this is all that they have, I understand. We're not trying to turn anyone away from the church. Now, some people are. I'm not that type of person. I'm not turning gays. I'm not turning lesbians. I'm not turning anybody away, right? But just like my pastor says, we're going to accept whoever you are as you are. But the goal is for you to grow. And so, yes, the message is going to be about growth, not judgment. But people, they have issues with the fact that, well, if I go to church, there are going to be certain expectations.
Right.
Expectations of every Christian.
Right. Which is why these youngins don't want to come to the church.
But that's not our issue.
Don't you?
There's an expectation for everyone. It doesn't matter. If you start school in the 9th grade, by the time you graduate 12th grade, you're going to have to take tests. You're going to have to learn some new material. You're going to have to improve your reading. You're going to have to do all of these different things in order to get to the next level. They don't like that either. But they understand that they have to do it. When it comes to church, you can't force kids to go to church. So that's why they rebel against church, because it's not forced like school is. They would do the exact same thing to school if they didn't have to go to school.
I think more youngins would go to church if folks didn't preach damnation. I was having this conversation. Hold on, let me finish. I was having this conversation with my Atlanta mom, and I was telling her the reason why, the youth numbers are down in the church is because y'all are preaching this word of damnation and you scaring the babies. And yes, there are rules. There are things that you are supposed to live by according to the Bible, but you can't lead with that. Not in this day and age. They're not hearing you. They don't care about that. They don't care about the consequences of repercussion. Bring it on is what they're saying. Hold on, let me read some more comments. I wish Pastor Green would get on here, because we do need his little word today, Pastor. Hold on. Mama said you would. Okay, I read that already. DJ D would be quiet. He said, get her, Mama. Swisher said, absolutely. The devil is busy, even in church. Mama said that to you. Swisher said, to you, Mama, trying to tell you. Baby Barack said, the most important thing is that she came into the church to worship on her terms. That's all I'm saying. Everyone needs to be concerned about their own affairs and leave the judging to God. Pastor Green, we need some education day on this subject. Swisher said, booty shorts in church ain't cool. True. And Swisher said, if more parents made them go, more kids would be there. I don't believe so. Maybe in the beginning. But then what you do when they become a teenager and they don't want to go no more? Or they get out your house and they don't want to go no more? So I hear you. Mama said these new age parenting don't make kids go to church. Back in the day, you went regardless of whether you wanted to or not. Which is facts, because my grandma, if I stayed with her, oh baby, she was getting me. She went to church every Sunday. And I ain't talking about just, she went to church all day. I'm talking about Sunday school, after worship service, all the above. So, my grandma was heavily in the church. But I hear you with the parenting. I went to church as a kid, as an adult. I don't go to church now. And I don't go to church because I don't like what some of you preachers are preaching in these churches. I'm going to be real. I don't. I believe there is a higher power, there is all of that. I believe in Jesus. I believe all that. He died for, I believe that. But I refuse to step foot in any, no disrespect. because y'all don't preach the love of God. Is what you should be preaching, not this damnation, not this, oh, if you don't do this, you're going to hell. Don't nobody want to hear that. And yes, if you don't do this, there are consequences to your actions, like you said, Rashad. Hey, Janice, happy belated birthday, but I said happy birthday to you on your birthday, but happy birthday, Janice. But go ahead, Rashad.
So, everybody, and I keep hearing this, everybody's talking about all y'all preach damnation, and all of y'all are this and all of y'all are that.
Not all, but some majority.
So the point that I was going to make is that the issue is that they have not found the right church for them, right?
I'm
Just
listening.
because if you buy a bag of apples and you see 2 of the apples in there are rotten, you don't throw the whole bag away. You get rid of the rotten apples and go find you an apple that's fresh. The church that I've gone to my entire life, and we've never been about damnation preaching. That's never been what we talk. And so that's why my perception about church is different. Because I've been to a church that teaches a Bible, teaching church that teaches the right way. And we are huge in the community on what we do. We do a financial report every year talking about all the millions of dollars that we give away to our immediate vicinity. So yeah, the church is huge. Hell, my wife and I, we give tithes. We charge. I think our tithes are like $25,000 a year. We give tithes away, but we know where the money is going. And so if you're feeding into a Bible teaching church where you are growing, then you have a healthy relationship with the people of God. The problem is that everybody doesn't have a good relationship with the people of God. So you have to go and find an area that will benefit you and your growth.
Can I ask you a question,
Rashad? Challenge. People aren't able to do that. Yeah.
Why do people have a bad relationship with the people of God?
Well, I just told you that. Because some churches are not teaching appropriately. Some churches are full of judgmental individuals. Yes, no, but that's not new, and we all know that. The point that I'm making is that is not the entire element of religion, but people act like it is. Not saying Diddy, but if you talk to some people, they all y'all, and they put everybody in the same boat, and that's not accurate. And so I'm speaking from a place where I've seen it work. All you have to do is just go find where it works for you. But people are just, nope, I give up. And I understand, once again, some of it is based off of trauma. And I understand that. But the point that I'm making, your relationship with God, that's the most important element. However, if you're not growing, you need to find somewhere for you to go that will help you grow. Because we're never supposed to be in the same place.
Yeah.
We're always supposed to be continuing to grow. And a lot of people have just accepted, look, I got a relationship with God. All it means is that they believe in Jesus and he died on the cross. That's all it really means. But they're not growing. They're not studying. They're good people, but being a Christian has nothing to do with being a good person.
Well,
and so, like I said, there's a different level to this that people just completely overlook. That's all.
Well, you said, because I want to rewind to what you just said. You said being a Christian doesn't necessarily mean that you're a good person, right?
Right.
So break that down, because some Christians would. Go ahead.
Acts don't get you in the. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I want you to finish.
Yeah. Acts of kindness don't get you into heaven. So you can be a good person and still not following the path that God wants you to be on. Right? That's just.
I agree with that.
Just being nice.
I agree with that.
Right. And then there are some people that are saved that are not good people.
That are judgmental. All the above.
Yeah.
Hold on one second, Rashad. Let me do this break real quick. There will be no Knicks hate tolerated today, as my Knicks are getting ready to face the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's go, Knicks. It's 98.7 Kiss. Don't be a hater. I see your face. Get that smug off your face. Get that smug look off your face. Let's go, Knicks.
Look, Look, the New York fans are rude as hell.
Y'all
I saw
say that
this
about
video.
all of man. Get out of here.
No,
Get out of here. Y'all say that about every New Yorker. Y'all rude.
This dude had this Indiana jersey on, and he was just walking in the streets, and the whole crowd crowding around him and started hitting him over his head.
Yeah, because what you got that Pacers jersey on? This New
And see,
York.
when
Welcome.
when we accept that, that's how people get unalived.
Let me find out. What you know about that word unalive?
That goes too far. I understand being proud, but when you start assaulting people because they got on another jersey,
Okay, yeah, that's
too far.
But
That's too far. And
see, Rashad, I kind of think differently on how you think. You said you can't, and I don't want to misquote you. You said being a kind person won't get you into heaven. But I feel like because God's love is so amazing, agape love, you know, regardless. And I was listening to this man, me and Babe, over the weekend on Sunday. I can't remember his name, but we were listening and he was talking about God's love, agape love. You know, no matter how many times you sin, God, he's still going to love you. But he said that doesn't warrant or give you a right to continue to sin. You shouldn't want to sin because of God's love, because God's love is so real. So
that's my point. Yes. Yep.
Pastor Green said, I'm driving. My apologies. I can't chime in, but this is good. I understand both sides. Thank you, Pastor Green. I appreciate you. And Pastor Green, I didn't mean your church, because me and boyfriend are going to make an appearance one of these Sundays at your church. I promise you.
One of these Sundays, Pastor. One of them.
That's what I said, because I don't like to say, oh, I'm going to do it next week, and then I don't do it. I like to be a person of my word. See, Didi likes to hold her word. So that's why I told the good pastor that one of these Sundays I'm coming. I'm not playing.
Just pick a day.
Because I am looking for a good church
Good.
home. Okay? Shabbat. I am looking for a good church home. But it gotta be in order with what I feel and my values. And like I said, I feel like God is love. And this is the pastor man here. Pastor. Wait, Pastor, what we call him? Pastor Francois.
Oh my God, you can leave that alone.
No, he's a he really should have been a pastor in his past life, because he be in here. But sometimes I need me a good word, and he just has that word for me. So
See? There you
he
go.
does. I didn't say I did not believe in the Lord. I just don't believe in following a man. I'm sorry. I don't believe in following the man. You know, I feel like people put too much stuff. Sorry, Pastor Green, love you. I feel like people put too much into the pastor. No disrespect.
Okay. So here's the question. Then how are you facilitating your growth?
Oh, because I read the word, I pray.
Okay. So if you feel as though your relationship with the Lord is growing, then okay. That's fine.
I talk to the Lord. Me and him have personal conversations. Sometimes I throw even a little cuss word up in there. But he understands my heart. You see what I'm saying?
Understood.
You know, I just want us, you good Christian folks, you Bible-thumping Christians. Okay? Just, you know, again, I feel like the youth does not come to church because of the teachings. I believe if you taught the love of God, maybe then that may draw more youngins to the church. They don't want to hear about that damnation.
Well, come on. Didi, but I'm telling you, the only message is not the message of damnation that they
Well, that's
get.
what some of these preachers only preach.
Well, I mean, I think, and ahead, I agree. You know, here's the deal. The message of salvation is inclusive. Everyone, come on in. Mm-hmm. You know, it's love. By loving kindness have I drawn you, the Bible says. But after you get from salvation to a relationship with God and you want to get closer to him, it's like dating someone. Mm-hmm. I like you. You like me. We're going to be together. Mm-hmm. But then once you take that relationship further, you're like, okay, well, we need to establish some boundaries. Oh. You know, we have to we have to, establish how this thing is going to work, because you're not going to come in and out of my house all day and all night, and I don't know where you've been, and not tell me what's going on. You get what I'm saying? And I think the part of it is, and I'm this is going to be spiritual, but a part of it is a war with the flesh, because our flesh does not want to concede our liberties. And so our liberties are, I do what I want, how I want, and you're going to live with it however you want. But in building and establishing and walking in fellowship with God, we understand that there are some expectations. There are some expectations on how the relationship can grow. Because if I'm looking at being in fellowship with God and taking advantage of all the opportunities and benefits of that relationship, that means I too have, something to do, something to give, something to offer, something to serve Him in my walk. Now, I will say this, because I heard you very clearly when you said damnation. I do agree that there is an old school methodology that we scare people into submission. Well, I believe
that's the part.
I believe a little differently. I believe, you trying to get it back right.
It's good.
I believe that if you love someone, I don't have to threaten you. For you to stay.
Absolutely.
But since I love you this much, I want to please you. I want you to be happy. And so that goes back to my relationship with the Lord. It's because I love the Lord, I don't mind giving up some things to serve Him better.
That part.
And I think that's the part that some churches have right.
Yes.
There are some old school churches that still in a certain formula or methodology, and that may serve their members, right? But I say this to people, you have to find the church that serves you. And to be very honest and clear, usually we don't stay in the same church our entire lives. Because you don't stay in the same school your entire life. You go to first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, and you grow from class to class or from level to level. And I think that's what happens in our spiritual growth and development as well. But, I totally agree that the damnation part, that's kind of old school.
Yeah.
But you just have to find the church that best suits you and ministers to you. One that's going to challenge you.
Yes.
One that's going to support you, and one that's going to love you.
Right.
At the same time.
And I was telling
I'm done.
Rashad so I was telling Rashad, who was on here, that me and boyfriend, we woke up just out of nowhere. It was a man on TV, and he was preaching God's love, agape. Yeah. I feel like that's what needs to be preached, because he broke it down. He was like, God's love is going to be so great on your life, you're not going to want to sin. Yeah, you're not going to want to do the same things you have been doing, because His love is so great, and you're going to realize that you're not going to want to do any of those things. Right. But He said it doesn't give you
a right
to sin.
That's right.
But just know, if you do sin, He is going to forgive you.
He loves you.
He loves you unconditionally.
He loves you beyond the sin. However, sin also puts space between me and Him. You get it? Even after you tell your child, you know what, you came inside, you did what I told you not to do.
Right.
You know what? We were going to Chuck E. Cheese. We ain't doing that now. I'm going to have you sit down. Now, you still going to enjoy all the benefits. You can go in the refrigerator when you can. You're going to sit in this house with air conditioning. You have your own room. You have all that.
But I'm revoking this.
Exactly. We fall in that. And sometimes that's not God chastising us. It's more Him teaching us and developing us and grooming us to be the people that He wants to be. But I think it's really a very, very interesting walk. But you gotta find a good Bible teaching church, And again, the part of challenging us is important.
Right.
We got to be, if you're not challenged,
then you don't need to be at that church.
Right.
Let me ask you a question. Because B. Simone is now getting backlash, because that's the main point of this topic today. Because they said she wore booty shorts and a blazer to the pulpit.
I mean,
have you seen it?
I'm going to say this.
Wait, because I want them to see your face. Come around here. I want them to see your face. Come around here. Go ahead. What you going to say?
There is protocol. I mean, you don't want to be a distraction. And I'm going to say this. Just because I can don't mean that it's good for me to do that. Meaning if there's somebody that does drugs, now it's whatever you do, that's you.
Right.
However, you know what? I might not want to do that in front of someone that's in recovery.
Okay. Makes sense.
You get it? So when I come to church, it's a hospital.
So you're saying somebody that may have dressed like that may see her and think, okay, I got you.
Or I wouldn't even go that far. I would even say, so there's a man that's there that's dealing with lust.
Oh,
that's in church.
He said that, Rashad.
Because I'm trying to work out this soul salvation thing, and you become a distraction to him because that's what he's warring with.
Yeah.
Now, is that a? Go ahead.
Yeah, let me do my break because that's my boss. So I still gotta work.
And I'm distracting you. I'm about to go to my office.
No, you're not. 7 minutes, and then there were 5. 5 of the inmates still remain at large, and not a maintenance man being involved. What is going on here? I got the deets coming up for you right here on 98.7 KISS. They said 5. I know you said 3.
It's 3.
Is it 3? That are left?
Yes.
Okay.
But no, and it's just because I can don't mean that I do.
Yeah.
Just and I think if we see it like that, I think we won't do all the things that we want to do that we know that we should not do. But
the Lord said, J. Michael,
come as you is, right?
Yes. You knew I was going with it.
But that don't mean that. So I would say
what
this.
you about to say? That don't mean what?
That means if I'm coming from work, I'm not going to allow me going home and changing to stand in the way of me going to church.
But it don't say come. Well, what if I came from the club and wanted to hear a good word?
I mean, go do it. But what I'm saying is when you know better, you do better.
Well, maybe she did that.
Ha! She knew better.
Stop it.
She knew better.
Listen,
she knew better.
I'm not putting that on. I'm not putting that on B. Simone.
I put it on her.
I'm not putting that on B. Simone because Jesus said, "Come as you are." He didn't hang with you Bible thumping Christians. He hung with the sinners.
He sure did.
Wait, he got in my face when I say that.
He
Go
sure
ahead.
did.
Now, what you about to say?
But he also went to sinners so that they can be enlightened, so that their lives can be changed.
Yeah.
And so if you walked into church, and I'm going to say it like this, and you know better, it's different than somebody that, let's say, a woman or a man that was in a certain gentleman's club, whatever the case may be, and they had a moment and they're like, I need to change. And that was their moment. It's different. It's different. And no judgment with it. But it's, again, I think when we go to a hospital, we know that we're going where the sick are.
Well, Rashad said the same thing. He said when you show up to church like that, I mean, there's married men and it's temptation. Like, you trying not to look, but you're tempted. So
it's a hospital. We're trying to get well.
I tell you, J. Michael be in here giving me a good word.
I have corona, but I'm going to go around everybody. Really? Stay the hell away from me.
Baby Brock said, I agree with Didi 100%. Pastor Green said, I agree. I asked the members to study the word for themselves to get an understanding outside of what I preach on Sunday.
Absolutely.
Or teach during Bible study. We all have a relationship with him. Thank you, Pastor Green. Pastor Green is here.
Oh, really? Cool. What church?
Pastor Green, what church do you go? What's your church again, Pastor Green? I can't remember off the top of my head. I met him at the Minority Business Awards.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Pastor Green. Good folks. He's making the same points I made. No. He's saying everything I said. No, he did not. I backed me up. Man, that's what I said. He said, Rashad is trying to say everything you said, he said.
Hey.
You didn't say it like that, Rashad.
Oh, same difference. Same
You
difference.
men stick. Boy, let me tell you something about men. Boy, they stick together. That's why I say women, we got to do better.
You know what I was coming to tell you about?
What?
You know, it's a horrible story, and I'm going to talk about it on the air. You can pull it up, too, because you have a couple minutes left, too. But in Louisiana, of course, from New Orleans, but there was a couple that, first of all, his fiance, she was in a horrible accident, and she veered off the road. And she died.
I saw that,
and then they called him to come,
and then he died,
and he had an accident on his way.
I saw that
there, and they leave a 4-year-old child.
Yep.
And it just, you know, while we're talking about salvation, while we're talking about all this, I say this to you: it's important for us to make sure that we are in the heart position that we're supposed to be. That we're always working and striving to be our very best, not only in the world, but also with our relationship with the Lord. Because certainly the both of them did not have an idea or inclination that was going to be their last day. And so, you know, it softens my heart to know that happened, especially to that child, even more so. But so the irony.
Yeah.
Irony.
I saw that story. I was like, oh my God, that's pulling at my heartstrings. I can't talk about this on air.
That was in Baton Rouge.
Was
that happened right outside of Baton Rouge. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right, y'all, let's do some final thoughts because I'm going to wrap this up because I got another break.
Final thoughts, go to church.
Yeah. J. Michael said final thoughts, go to church. My final thoughts is just have a relationship, whatever your relationship is with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that may be, you know. And if you can find a church, find you a good church home, you know, to get into. But my church got to believe in the love because that's what God is. Love, agape. This the rest of the stuff that they teaching. Yeah, it matters, but I want to teach the love of God, not, you know. And then, yeah, because it's like that pastor said, you know what I'm saying? God's love is so great that you're not going to want to sin. And yes, it's not a pass for you to sin, you know what I'm saying? But just know that you can sin and you can keep making the same mistakes and God is going to forgive you because that's how loving he is. That is how loving our God is. And that's all I have to say about that. Final thoughts, though, because I got to talk about these New Orleans inmates, child. Final thoughts. Y'all got any? Hey, babe. This is a good one today. This might get posted. And if it don't get posted on here, you check out my YouTube channel at IamDeeDee Parker. That's IamDeeDee Parker. Or Twitch. One of the two. All right. Nobody got final thoughts? We may do this tomorrow. Or may not with the holiday. But I got to go. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. The best R&B 98.7 Kiss Deedee Parker in your middays on your hump day. Happy Wednesday to you. This week is a moving, but I ain't mad about it. All right. And then there were 3 inmates that escaped that New Orleans jail still on the loose. There's a $20,000 reward for anybody that has any information on them. But there is a but. The plot thickens. A maintenance man has been arrested for allegedly helping the 10 inmates escape. Man claims one of the inmates threatened him with a shake. He said, if I didn't help, baby, you got to do better than that. He threatened you, and he's behind bars, and you free, and you didn't tell nobody? Yeah, there's more to the story than that. I ain't buying what this man is selling, child. And now you about to get locked up, child. What a mess. So, we'll see if they catch these remaining 3. I have more for you on the way, so keep it close. It's 98.7 Kiss, the best R&B. It's more than a word. It's a breakthrough. All right, Twitchily.